Watch Hillary examine the terrain. Watch a campaign with the man Tim Kaine. Tim Kaine in the membrane. Tim Kaine in the brain.
And then they have cans of soup. And they throw the cans of soup. That's better than a brick because you can't throw a brick, it's too heavy. But a can of soup, you can really put some power into that, right? And then when they get caught, they say, no, this is soup from my family. They're so innocent. This is soup from my family. It's incredible. And you have people coming over with bags of soup, big bags of soup, and they lay it on the ground, and the anarchists take it and they start throwing it at our cops, at our police. And if it hits you, that's worse than a brick because it's got force. It's the perfect size. It's like made perfect. And when they get caught, they say, no, this is just soup from my family. And then the media says, this is just soup. These people are very, very innocent. They're innocent people.
I don't know who created Pokemon Go, but I'm trying to figure out how we get them to have Pokemon go to the polls.
They had a very bad original concept. It was carried out poorly, and the cover-up was one of the worst in the history of cover-ups. Very simple. Bad deal, should have never been thought of. Somebody really messed up. But they had the worst cover-up ever. And where it should have stopped is at the deal stand when they thought about it. Because whoever thought of that idea, I think is in big trouble. Well, you have to understand, the first time I ever heard of Black Lives Matter, they were chanting, pigs in a blanket, talking about police. Pigs, talking about our police. Pigs in a blanket, fry them like bacon. But you have to go home now. We have to have peace. We have to have law and order. We have to respect our great people in law and order. We don't want anybody hurt. It's a very tough period of time. There's never been a time like this where such a thing happened.
No, seriously, hot sauce. I've been eating a lot of hot sauce, a lot of raw peppers and hot sauce.
Sam, if I could just get the sentence out. We can talk about Jimmy Dore can go and kill 15 kids tomorrow, and I still believe in force the vote.
I gotta go. Let me respond. There's a lot to respond to here. Let's get something straight. You shouldn't be disappointed. What I've done so far is more than anybody else has done this far. Okay? Number one. Number two. I mean what I say when I say it. I mean what I say when I say it.
And you ain't black.
I'm the only person.
If you have a problem figuring out whether you're
I
for
mean
me
what I say when I say it.
You ain't black.
I mean what I say when I say it. I mean what I say when I say it.
But I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, and you ain't
I
black.
mean what I say when I say it.
Figuring out whether you're
I
for
mean
me
what
or
I
Trump,
say when I say
and you
it.
ain't black.
I mean what I say when I say it.
You're for me or Trump,
I mean what I say when I say it.
I tell you, if you have a problem
I mean what I say when I say it.
Trump,
So far as more than anybody else has done this far.
I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump,
I mean what I say when I say it.
If you have a problem
I
figuring out
mean
whether
what
you're
I
for
say
me or
when I say
Trump,
it.
and you ain't black.
I'm the only person.
I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump,
three platforms,
and you ain't black. I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or
I never
Trump,
ceased from it.
and you ain't black. I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump,
because of what I saw happen in Charlottesville. That was it. No one else was talking about it. The words of presidents matter. Nobody else.
That was an opinion of somebody, and that was a retweet. I'll put it out there. People can decide for themselves. I don't take a position. Retweet. That was an opinion of somebody, and that was a retweet. I'll put it out there. People can decide for themselves. I don't take a position.
The founder of the Proud Boys is a Fed. I don't think anybody was surprised by that at all. He looks like a narc. I mean, the Proud Boys, I've been saying for a while, they're clearly the same niggas Antifa. Like, Antifa and Proud Boys just came up out of nowhere with Trump. And we're going to talk about that stuff on our Rock Big Brain. The founder of the Proud Boys is a Fed. I don't think anybody was surprised by that at all. He looks like a narc. I mean, the Proud Boys, I've been saying for a while, they're clearly the same niggas Antifa. Like, Antifa and Proud Boys just came up out of nowhere with Trump. And we're going to talk about that stuff on our Rock Big Brain.
The reason the market is doing what it's doing is people are sitting at home getting the checks from the government, okay? And this fair share is a bullshit concept. It's just a way of attacking wealthy people, and, you know, I think it's inappropriate. We all got to work together and pull together. The reason the market is doing what it's doing is people are sitting at home getting the checks from the government, okay? And this fair share is a bullshit concept. It's just a way of attacking wealthy people, and, you know, I think
$7 million for reef fish management, $25 million to combat Asian carp, $2.5 million to count the number of amberjack fish in the Gulf of Mexico.
And by the way, I don't think that's some grand conspiracy. I think this is sort of what power is. I mean this at a sort of high level.
Get your words straight, Jack.
Everybody digging my chili, what I'm laying down, that is not true.
Watch Hillary examine the terrain. Watch a campaign with the man Tim Kaine. Tim Kaine in the membrane. Tim Kaine in the brain.
Isn't it wonderful to allow protesting? No. Isn't it wonderful to allow protesting? No. Isn't it wonderful to allow protesting? No.
I don't know who created Pokemon Go, but I'm trying to figure out how we get them to have Pokemon go to the polls.
They had a very bad original concept. It was carried out poorly.
Levi's. Just showing that my First Amendment right. My First Amendment right to not wear Levi's.
And the cover-up was one of the worst in the history of cover-ups. Very simple. No good, really bad for you.
I'm about to be 34 and I have no family. I'm about to be 34 and I have no family. I'm about to be 34 and I have no family.
As far as my relationships with all people, I think I have great relationships with all people. I am the least racist person in this room.
It was an amazing phone call. And 40 Wall Street actually was the second tallest building in downtown Manhattan. And it was actually, before the World Trade Center, was the tallest. And then when they built the World Trade Center, it became known as the second tallest, and now it's the tallest. And I just spoke to my people.
Hello, users, and welcome to another episodic installation, I think. There's this, like, weird thing. Is my microphone working? I don't know. There's this weird thing with my microphone. For whatever reason, I feel like it's not working properly. I had, like, when I reset my computer, there was, like, a Windows update, and that kind of fucked a lot of my settings up. So, like, is this thing working correctly? Is it alright? Does it function? Is it, like, clear? Can you hear me? Hello? Hello? Am I on? Is this thing on? Let me try. Should I try tapping the microphone? Should I? Oh, I'm so sorry. I know, right? I know. I know I shouldn't have done that, and I'm so sorry. But I just, my brain was like, should I tap the microphone? And then my body just did the action. So I tapped the microphone. It's fine. All right, cool. Whenever Windows does an update, man, it really freaks me out because everything changes, everything turns off. It's just an unfortunate scenario. If Max the dog playing with, I don't even know if he's playing with that. I think he's trying to kill that bear. He's ripped 3 of the limbs up. He's ripped 4 of the limbs off of that bear, and it's no good. Believe me, it's no good. So today's programming is going to be a little interesting. So I've got a show here, and then the impeachment stuff is going to start at noon, which means what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to start the stream similarly to what I did yesterday. I'm probably going to start the stream an hour or so behind. So I might start the stream at 1. Yesterday I started it at 2. That way I can watch the stream at like 1.25x, or I can watch the stream at regular speed or 1.1 speed and then just skip through the votes, skip through the, like, parliamentary switch offs where they go like, I yield and all that shit. So that's what the plan is. I'm going to stream the impeachment stuff, starting it a little bit late. That way I get the opportunity to sift through some of the bullshit, so it's less of an annoying fucking shit show for me, less of an annoying shit show for you. Yes, it will be a little bit late on the live, but I'll catch up, probably by 2 or 3 p.m. So that's kind of how that goes. Save some time that way, and that way I have time to edit the clips of this stream. That way I've got time to eat lunch. That way I've got time to walk the dog, etc. And then also, yeah, so there's there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on. There's many things, many things going on. Yeah, so that's what's happening. But yeah, so I've got, I don't know, there's so much news to get to. I want to get into this one first, because I haven't read this article yet. I'm at the point now where I just start reading articles for the first time live on stream. But I haven't read this article yet because... Wait a second. Okay, wait. I haven't read this article yet because... Mostly because I just been wanting to save it for the stream because it just seems extremely funny. So I'm going to set this up. I'm going to queue this up. And we'll see how this goes. There's a lot going on. Unbelievable. I know, right? There's just so much going on, right? It's just crazy. Like the video with DJ Elf. Yeah, I'll be posting that on my channel soon. I've got a couple interviews in the can that I need to post. So, but yeah, actually, let me get that actually, just in case y'all are interested. I did a show with DJ Elf 7 last night. You can find the show here. So if you want to watch this show, DJ Elf 7 is a Tulsi and Yang person, so it's like, we'll work on that. But they've also done work with the People's Party, and they were like on top of this whole People's Party thing for a while. And it really was like I was trying to hit them up a couple weeks ago, honestly. But this guy's schedule is, wacky. My schedule's wacky, and then so we finally got to talk at this point. So we did about an hour. You can watch it. I'll upload it on my channel as well. But if you want to watch it on here to support them, that would be nice because they've only got like 500 subs or whatever. So if you want to back them up, that would be cool. If you don't, feel free not to, I guess. But just throwing that out there. Got to support people. Yeah, so that's kind of the way that's going. Like the video, do all that crap, because I'm sure the Nico House fanboys are going to attack the shit out of him. So that's how that's gonna go. But yeah, there's this extremely funny report that I've been waiting for. I can't stop waiting. Am I gonna yay or nay for the impeachment? I'm gonna yay, Bodan. Impeach the motherfucker. That's what I'm gonna do. Let me drink some of my filtered water. I got a water filter yesterday, y'all. Drink some filtered water. Water has never tasted like nothing before. Reuben report. Sure. Anyway, let's get into this. So, yesterday, there was the debate over whether impeaching a former president is constitutional. 44 terrorists that happen to be senators, they've managed to claw their way into the Senate, even though they're anti-American terrorists, decided to vote against the Constitution of the United States. And part of Trump's legal defense team was this Bruce Castor guy. And so I know this guy's insufferable, but I want to play this clip because Trump has privately, according to reports, been very unhappy with Bruce Castor. And so I want to play this guy's little opener here, and then we'll get into what Trump's reaction seems to have been.
The Constitution is a document designed to protect the rights of the minority, not the rights of the majority. Congress shall make no law abridging all of these things. That's because those were the things that were of concern at the time.
Delicious.
It's easy to be in favor of liberty and equality and free speech when it's popular.
What? I just like the idea. Again, I know, right? Let's do the domino meme, right? So, Gamergate, right? Ethics and games journalism turned into I hate SJWs, turned into anyone who disagrees with me is canceling me, turned into cancel culture. Now the president of the United States of America, after inciting a riot that killed 7 people and injured hundreds, right? The president of the United States hires his legal defense, and his legal defense is crying about cancel culture, right? Crying about cancel culture.
I think that I want to give my colleague, Mr. Sean, an opportunity to explain to all of us the legal analysis on jurisdiction. I'll be quite frank with you. We changed what we were going to do on account that we thought that the House manager's presentation was well done.
Oops.
And I wanted you to know that we have responses to those things. I thought that what the first part of the...
Spoiler alert, they never, ever, not a single time, spoke about the riot itself. They just spoke about cancel culture the whole time. Right, so you get the gist. I'm not going to bore you with that. So Trump is apparently very unhappy with this. So according to CNN, former President Trump, God bless those words, was unhappy with Bruce Castor's opening argument on the Senate floor this afternoon, according to 2 people familiar with his reaction. Trump was almost screaming as Castor made meandering arguments that struggled to get at the heart of his defense team's argument, which is supposed to be over the constitutionality of holding a trial for a president no longer in office. Given the legal team was assembled a little over a week ago because the other one was fired, it went as expected, one of the sources told CNN. Trump's allies were flabbergasted when Trump's attorneys switched speaking slots at the last minute. Ah! It's so good. Let's watch it. Come on. You got this. I know. By the way, what a disastrous freeze frame here. I think, yep.
Very, very unhappy, especially that first lawyer, Bruce Castor, who did an awful job trying to defend the former president.
An awful. Yeah, I'm just sorry. I hate Wolf Blitzer, but I got to listen to that again.
And Caitlin, I'm sure Trump was very, very unhappy, especially that first lawyer, Bruce Castor, who did an awful job trying to defend the former president.
Yeah, Wolf, it's almost predictable as you were watching Bruce Castor go forward with trying to make that argument that was meandering in the first few minutes of it. As of course, this is a limited time defense and he wasn't really getting to the heart of the argument. And I'm now being told by two people familiar with President Trump's reaction, former President Trump, I should say, that he was deeply unhappy with that performance. He was borderline screaming, according to these two people who are aware of how the president responded to Bruce Castor as he was going forward, making that argument. Though Wolf,
so this was, I just want to say that this is probably akin to what Donald Trump was saying behind the scenes.
They had a very bad original concept. It was carried out poorly, and the cover-up was one of the worst in the history of cover-ups. It's very simple. Bad deal, should have never been thought of. Somebody really messed up.
Oh my God.
We should point out, this is a legal team that was assembled just a little over a week ago after those other attorneys who were initially supposed to be the ones on the Senate floor making this argument left the team in what was described as a mutual decision at the time. And so they've only had a little over a week to prepare for this. And actually, they were supposed to go in reverse order with David Schoen. Actually, he was supposed to make the first argument, but then they swapped, I'm told, at the last minute, which confused a lot of the president's allies. They did not think that was a strong opening argument. And then to have the first attorney admit that he believed the House impeachment managers did a good job also was confusing to a lot of people on the president's team. But yes, Trump was not happy with that performance. He was borderline screaming over what was going on as he was talking to people about this. So, of course, the question is what's going to happen after this? What is the outcome? The president still does believe he's going to be acquitted, but this is not a good showing for his legal team. He knows that. And so whether or not that changes over the next few days remains to be seen how they approach this now going forward. But we do know that the president was not happy with what he saw there from his defense team.
Yeah. So that's from CNN. Take it with a grain of salt. But God damn it, I love this. Like, again, Trump is crying like a fucking baby back bitch. And it's just, hello, Max. Hello, you're very needy today. You're very needy today, Max. Oh, hello. But yes, Donald Trump was crying like a baby back bitch. And it's just, you love to see it. You just love to see it. Just as how I love to see this dog, you love to see Trump crying like a baby back bitch. Oh my God. Max. I know, buddy. I know. I know, buddy. I'm doing a podcast, Max. I know. This is how I feed you. Max, you're going to starve if you don't let me continue. Max, you're going to starve. You're gonna starve, Max. Why? Oh. Just for reference, if you watched my interview with DJ Elf 7, you'll notice that I had no bed sheet on during that interview. That's because I had to wash the bed sheet. Max fucking dragged his poopy butthole on my bed sheet yesterday during the impeachment. And so I had to go wash my fucking shit. So thank you for that one, Max. I appreciate it. But as you can see, the sheet is back on. It took me about 20 minutes to get the bed sheet on because I do not know how to put a bed. This is something you might not know about me. I am 24 years old and I do not know how to put a bed sheet on. Like I struggled for 20 minutes every time I'd get to the fourth corner. right? I'd stretch it and it wouldn't stretch all the way. And then as soon as I got it to work, the other side would pop out. It's a huge problem. And honestly, the bed sheet is actually, it's off. The bed sheet is coming off right now. Okay, the bed sheet is back on temporary. I'm gonna have to get like safety pins or something. Like seriously, can someone like what the fuck? What the fuck? Unbelievable. 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 Look at this. You see this? What do I do with this? I don't, what is this? What do I do here? What? Okay, check this out, right? Boom. Right? I don't even... What do I do there? They make little elastic things that clip to the sheet in the bed. Someone's gonna have to back me up here. They crisscross the bottom side of the mattress. I don't know what that means. It takes two pull. You gotta pull it farther. I can't pull it farther. I pulled it. I did try to pull it. It doesn't. Every time I get up, it moves. It just comes off. There's no more fucking bed sheet. My God. As you can see, Max is feasting upon that bear's fourth limb. Should I butter both sides? Oh no, not the Pop-Tarts. No, no, no. Your sheets are the wrong size, or rotate 90 degrees. I rotated 90 degrees 8 times. It just doesn't work. You should express your First Amendment rights and burn the bed sheets. I should. I really should. Yes, reminder everyone. To give me money on PayPal, Cash App, or Patreon so I can afford a bed sheet that's 8 sizes higher so I don't have to worry about it fitting properly. If the sheet doesn't fit, I must quit. Oh no. It's not the wrong size. It's not the wrong size. I guarantee motherfucking. Zero Pain Elemental. I wasn't sitting on it before, motherfucker, and it came off. It came off during the stream when I sat down. It came off. It's not the wrong size. This is a queen bed. This is a queen sheet. I'm triggered. I'm triggered right now. I'm sorry. Y'all have triggered me because you know what? This is what I think about this chat.
There's an old saying in Tennessee, I know it's in Texas, probably in Tennessee, that says, fool me once, shame on you. It fooled me, we can't get fooled again.
This is a queen size sheet, queen size bed. Go fuck yourselves. It's not a full size sheet. Do I need to get my fucking Walmart receipt? Do I need to get my fucking Walmart receipt? Because I will. You know what? This is something that many people here might not know. But actually, I save all of my receipts. I have a little bit of a bag here, right? I save all of my receipts. Check this out. Every single receipt I get, I save. So I am willing to sit here and go through. Look at this. Look at this. Wendy's restaurant. This isn't even mine. Why do I have this receipt here? This isn't even mine. All right, look at this. I got a Walmart receipt. Frank's hot sauce. I got Frank's hot sauce on. Let's look at the date. On September 17th, 2019, I bought 2 bottles of Frank's hot sauce and GV12 Jumbo. I don't know what GV12 Jumbo is, but on September 17th, 2019, I bought Frank's Red Hot Sauce and GV12 Jumbo. Let's see, what else do I have? I'm gonna find this bed sheet, motherfuckers. I'm gonna find this motherfucking bed sheet.
No, seriously, hot sauce. I've been eating a lot of hot sauce, a lot of raw peppers and hot sauce.
On March 20th, 2020, I bought 4 jars of hot salsa. I bought hotter sauce. You'll see this right here without, I'm not going to do that. I bought hotter sauce. I bought pepper jack cheese, and I got diet cranberry mango juice. So y'all just don't know.
Seriously, hot sauce. I've been eating a lot of hot sauce, a lot of raw peppers and hot sauce.
So this is a good receipt. This was when I was campaigning for Bernie Sanders in South Carolina. I went to a deli on February 27th, 2020 in Columbia, South Carolina, and I purchased what appears to be a sandwich. Yes, I purchased a sandwich on February 27th, 2020 in Columbia, South Carolina. So y'all don't know what you're talking to. Over the next couple of hours, I'm going to dig out the receipt with this fucking shit on there. And now I'm going to have to figure out how to put it back into the little bag. So, anyway, this is what I do. I save every single receipt that I ever get because sometimes when I'm like really high, what I like doing is I like looking at my receipts and going like, wow, that was a long time ago, right? That's just something I do. My ball of receipts is so cute. Thank you very much. I try my best. Thank you, thank you. These categories of capitalism are axiomatic presuppositions. What? What? I'm sorry. What? Bizarre stuff? Bizarre stuff? I'm getting into Twitter arguments right now. I'm sorry. What's poppin', Matt? Impeachment coverage? Yes, I will be, Did Max pee up my sheets? No, he didn't. Max, wiped his poopy butthole on my sheets, so I needed to put them in the wash. Max, this is not, like, you're not supposed to get on stream when I mention this. This is where you're supposed to run. Oh, Sheetman. What sandwich? To be honest, I think it was one of my last meat meals. Because I remember I became a vegetarian almost as soon as I got home. I think like the first week after I got home, I became a vegetarian. And like, it's not like that I never ate meat every single day, even when I was a meat eater. Meat for me would always be like maybe 2 or 3 times a week anyway. But I remember I got an Italian Sammy with salami, unfortunately. But again, I've evolved. We're almost at my 1-year anniversary here. Max was definitely digging my chili. Hot sauce should travel in the opposite direction through your digestive system to prevent brain damage. But yeah, impeachment. I am going to stream. I'm going to start the stream at 1 and do what I did yesterday and like watch it like 1.25x or 1.1x or whatever. And that way, like, if, you know, there's a little bit of the VOD. So when they do that stupid bullshit, you know, where they do the Pledge of Allegiance, fuck the Pledge of Allegiance. I skip right through it. So, you know, if you want to watch it live, feel free to watch C-SPAN and then, like, tune into my stream, like, maybe when I get caught up. Because Yesterday I got caught up with the stream at, maybe like an hour and a half into. I was, at the live portion. So, but I like to skip all the bullshit. That way I have time to eat lunch. I can walk the dog. I can edit my videos and all that stuff. So I will be going live at around 1 p.m., maybe 1:30. And I will start the VOD from the beginning, and I'll skip all the dumb bullshit. I'll skip the Pledge of Allegiance. I'll skip the prayers. I'll skip the fucking bizarre, like, oh, yes, I yield my time. I'll skip all that dumb bullshit. You know what I mean? You want to know, actually, this is an interesting anecdote that y'all might not know. One of my first bits of political activism, yeah, I know, was not standing up for the pledge in 9th grade, my first year in high school. This is around when I was reading The God Delusion, and I was a really edgy atheist libertarian. And so I was reading The God Delusion, and I was one of those people that was offended that, in the Pledge of Allegiance, they have, Pledge of Allegiance under God or whatever. Which, by the way, under God was not supposedly in the original pledge. They added that in like the 1950s as kind of like an anti-communist thing. Right, so I refused to stand up for the pledge, and I used to get bullied for it. Like, I used to literally get bullied for it. And so one time someone threatened to beat me up because I didn't stand for the pledge. And then, I, scared him. So I forget what I did. I don't know. I called him, a fat piece of shit or something. And then, got up and, got, a hardcover book in my hand and, threatened to, beat him over the head. And he got really scared of me. And then he never fucked with me again. And so, it was really funny. But I remember in 9th grade as well, I had a substitute teacher once. Actually, no, I think this was in 10th grade. Yeah, I had a substitute teacher. And the substitute teacher threatened to give me detention because I didn't stand up for the pledge. So she said, "You got to stand up." And I said no. Because, again, it was my First Amendment right to not stand up for the pledge. They could not do anything to force me to do so. So I said no, and they got really mad. This is we're talking about a substitute teacher who was a teacher in the 1970s, but they retired, but they love going in every once in a while to fuck around, Can I fight? No, I totally just faked it. And that's why it was great. I never got into a fight because I made people afraid of fighting me by pretending that I could fight, but I never could fight. But anyway, so I got into this big argument with a teacher in 10th grade, and I said, I'm not standing up for the pledge. I'm an atheist. I don't I don't appreciate that they have God in the language. I don't like God. I think it's offensive. I literally said all this in front of the whole class to the teacher. So then the teacher walks over to the classroom phone. There's a phone next to the door, and they call the principal's office. And then they send someone down, and then I see them talking with the door open. They talk about me and say she's like, this student really needs attention. She's they're lashing out, and et cetera, et cetera. And then the principal's secretary or whatever, it was whoever came was you can't do that. You have no power to do that. And so then the teacher just came back and then looked at me, and then we just went on with the lesson. So that was pretty cool. I felt like a badass, and and then I dropped out of high school shortly afterward. So there you go. Am I the only one who can't do super chats? I don't know, Christian. Are they not working? Feel free to just give me money on PayPal or Patreon or Cash App. I get more money that way. Right? The only reason to do super chats is to give YouTube money as far as I'm concerned. Or if you don't know me that well, or if that's your only option. But if you can use PayPal, Patreon, or Cash App or something, I guarantee you I'll get way more of the cash out of it. As a teacher, I can say that a lot of teachers really love the pledge. How do you feel about that? As a teacher, Jeffrey, how do you feel about me defying authority? Oh, I did get a super chat. I'm so sorry. Andrew, hello, $10. I was scrolling through Nico House's Twitter for a certain tweet he posted, and the whole time I was scrolling through and looking at other tweets, the Benny Hill theme was playing in my head. I love it. You know what's actually interesting is this isn't technically the Benny Hill theme, what I play. This is a particular version of it. This right here is from the video game Jimmy Neutron Attack of the Twonkies. So it's a remix, and if you ever have played Attack of the Twonkies, which I'm sure only one person in this whole chat room has, basically, there's an item, and I do speedruns, right? So there's an item in the game called the Speed Shoes, And when you put on the speed shoes, which of course, if you're doing a speed run, you want to have the speed shoes on at all times. When you put on the speed shoes, this song plays for the rest of the fucking game. So basically, in the first 20 minutes, you know, you play the game, and then you get the speed shoes. And then you just equip the speed shoes over and over and over and over again, and this song keeps looping over and over and over, and it's great. I love it. Have I ever addressed your past behavior? I address it on every single show, Tokyo Goida. Go watch any other show I've done. Have you ever watched any of my streams before? Is my question. Attack of the Twonkies LMAO, that's a throwback. It is in fact a throwback. Get a new song/poem, something that's not so fascist. Are we talking about the Pledge of Allegiance? Because I agree. I haven't brushed my hair today, so it's a little fucked up. Hello, Rielon, Czar 70.00. Thank you for the Czars. Appreciate that. Appreciate it a lot. They should have lifted you up out of your chair and held you suspended above the floor for the entire... I mean, that would have been pretty cool. But, you know. Yeah, my hair is a little bit of a mess because I didn't brush it this morning. Anyway, I keep doing this thing where, like, I forget to talk about news because there's actually shit I want to talk about. Let's see. Bada boom. So this has been trending on Twitter, and I've been really getting into this quite a bit because, you know, why not? I love filtered water. Again, filtered water is amazing. Get Max some worm pills. I know what I'm talking about. Okay. It's nice to sing together. I mean, fuck that shit. Fuck the pledge. It's fascist propaganda. And, I'm willing to die on that hill. I wish, like, if I could ever go back in time and tell myself one thing, well, two things. One, I would tell myself that you're trans, like, first and foremost, right? And then two, I would say you got to stop standing up for the pledge even sooner than you did, because I started that in 9th grade. If I were to go back in time, right, I would tell myself in, like, 2nd grade, do not stand up for the pledge. Trust me, you'll thank me later. So, that's what I would say. God, my hair is such a mess. Fucking hell. I think you need to stop addressing your past behavior. I mean, if you want me to stop, I will. What's an email for me? Andrea@speed.dog. I dropped out about 2 months into 11th grade. Pledging to liberty and justice for all is okay, but the rest of it is BS. I mean, that's my thing. It's like, I mean, first of all, I just want to say a pledge in general is just fascist propaganda. Just in general. It could be like the best pledge in the world. It's still fascist propaganda. But like, there's certain parts of it that are okay, but it's just like, the rest of it is just a bunch of garbage. Like, it's just a bunch of words that no one really understands, right? Like, indivisible? What does that mean? Like, what? Have you been outside lately? We are not indivisible. Liberty and justice for who? Like, my lord, you know what I mean? So it's like a bunch of bullshit. Hold up, let me log into Binance so I can dump a lot of my fucking dogs. Gotta do it, buddy. Gotta do it. But yeah, I'm gonna talk about this Bitcoin thing that's been going on Twitter because I actually lost followers over this, which is really funny. People are accusing me, you're a libertarian. How dare you use Bitcoin? Cancelled. So I'm going to get into that in just a sec here. But first of all, let me dump my bags. Before we get into anything, let me open these bags and dump that shit all over the place. I can't remember if we sang the national anthem every day here in Canada. Do you have a pledge or do you just sing the anthem? I don't know, because singing sounds a little bit more fun. For us, it's just like, pledge allegiance, I got, and then, like, whatever. And then, like, you know, like, it's just, like, here it's just boring. You know what I mean? Went to Yale Law. Fucking Yale Law. Elon Musk just tweeted about Doge again? Hell yes. Yo, Bitcoin's going back down. That's great. I mean, if Elon Musk wants to tweet about Doge and I get money out of it, that's a win for me as far as I'm concerned. Bought some Dogecoin. I can't. What a fucking dumbass. I just like the idea. Again, I'm sorry. But again, there is nothing that proves... Maybe I should just put this in the video. Just hold up. Let me just dump my bags first. Let me dump these bags. Alright. Damn, bitch. I made like $80. Fuck yes. Alright. Let me realize these gains right quick. God bless. All right, so now that I've made $80 on a Ponzi scheme, oh Jesus, my Lord, I never liked the Pledge of Allegiance. It's too much like group prayer. Yeah, fuck that shit. Oh my God, you just triggered me. Now I gotta talk about my first time going to church. Okay, all right, okay. So, real quick, I'm gonna try to get this out of the way as soon as I can. So my first time going to church, maybe I'll just make this a segment. Fuck it, whatever. So my first time going to church was, I had never gone to a church as a kid. You know, my family was religious, but not practicing. So I'd never gone to church, but at some point, my mom made a friend at work. And my mom's friend at work, basically, my mom made this friend at work as a scheme to get this friend at work to do play dates with their kid and myself as a way to get free babysitting. So, like, whenever, you know, my mom, like, whenever, like, I was, you know, or, like, there was like, a day where, like, there'd be no school or whatever, instead of paying a babysitter, my mom would call up her friend and say, hey, you want to organize a play date as a way of free childcare while I go to work, right? So, and so this family was heavily religious. And I remember one time I went over there for the weekend at one point, and I remember waking up on Sunday, they woke me up and they're like, we got to go to church. And I'm like, what? So, okay, so I'm like, we got to go to church. Okay, and they take me, and this is like around Christmas time, right? So it's like, we got to go to church, and it's like 2 weeks before Christmas. So we go to church, and it's like one of those mega churches where it's like an auditorium where you got the comfy like movie theater seats, right? But you're not allowed to sit because you got to like get up and dance, right? So it's like, we go to church, and these people are singing about God. They're like one of those people that like they get the microphone and they go like, I love God. And it's like, I was blown away because this is when I was like 11, 12 or so. This was kind of like my first introduction, or maybe I was like, yeah, I think I was 12. So this is like my first introduction to like, I was starting to become like a conscious human, right? I was like, what is this religion thing? I'll give it a shot. You know, like I know that some people in my family believe in God, right? This is around the time where I tried praying to God and like God ignored me for some reason, right? And you can see the effects of God ignoring me. Like, look at this. Right? And so like, I remember just sitting there. And then, like, my, you know, so-called friend, I mean, you know, shout-outs to them, of course. We haven't talked, obviously, since I was, like, 12. But, you know, if they ever stumble upon my videos when I'm famous or whatever, feel free to hit me up. They kept, like, tapping on my shoulder and saying, you gotta get up. Because I was just sitting down. I was comfy. Right? And they kept, like, you gotta get up and you gotta... And I was like, what do I do? And I was like, they're all dancing. I'm, like, very socially awkward, right? You know, I was, like, an introvert. You know, I'm probably autistic, right? So I'm like, I don't like dancing. I'm not a social person. This is really, like, horrifying for me. And so, like, I'm standing up like this, like, arms straight down, like, just, like, doing this. Like, you know, like, I'm just, like, not having a good time. And the best part was later that day. I think it was later that day. It might have been a separate day, but in my brain, it's later that day. Later that day, we went to TGIF, you know, Fridays, the restaurant. And I remember, this is really good. Okay. So we went to TGIFs, right? Later that day. As like, you know, like before my mom picked me up and then my mom would meet us there and then like, you know, we'd eat together and then I'd go home with my mom. So we went to there And we're like, oh, we're at TGIF's. And I was like, thank God it's Friday or whatever. No, actually, yeah, no. Yeah. So there was a restaurant, not the day. But anyway, and they, like, everyone in the car looked at me, like, this guy's mother, like, father, like, he looked at me, like, in the backseat, like, everyone looked at me. It's like, it's not thank God, it's thank goodness. And they got, like, really stern. And they got, like, really mad at me. It's not thank God, it's thank goodness. It's Fridays? And I was like, okay, I'm sorry. Like, I'm so sorry. Like, and then, like, that really just informed my opinion on religion. As, like, wow, these people are fucking nuts, right? These people are, like, crazy, right? Like, they got so triggered. I was just, like, I was literally, and again, obviously, the restaurant is literally called Thank God It's Fridays, so I was just, like, reading the sign. Like, I was just, like, reading the sign on the fucking, like, restaurant door. I was just reading the fucking sign, and they got, like, they look, like, because they were in a parking space at this point, right? So they both look back at me at the front seat, and then, like, you know, my buddy looks at me. It's like, it's not thank God, it's thank goodness. It's just, oh my God. But anyway, that's my opinion on religion, and my first experience with church and church people. I went to a Christian summer camp at one point because these people got like when school was out. These people got me enrolled in a Christian summer camp. Should I go into this? Oh my God. Should I really go into this? Oh. Alright, fuck it. I'm going into it. Alright, Christian summer camp. Let's do it. So, I go to this summer camp. I didn't know it was a Christian summer camp, okay? I had no idea. All I know is that my mom was like, oh yeah, you're gonna go to a summer camp. And it's not a summer camp where you stay there overnight. It was like, like a daycare, basically. So, like, my mom would go to work, drop me off in the morning, and she'd come and get me at, like, 6 p.m. or whatever. So it was more like a daycare than a summer camp. It wasn't like a sleepover thing. They did have sleepover portions, but my mom never let me do that because, she just didn't let me do that. So during the summer camp, I remember going there. Oh my God, this is a classic Mr. Freak. You're gonna love. This is great. Okay, so I'm going to the summer camp, and I'm like, wow, this is so fun. There's all these, kids to play with, and, like, we play a bunch of sports, right? Hello, Max. Hello. Max the dog at this point was not born. But, so we go there, like, the first half of the day. So we get there at, like, 8 a.m., 7 a.m. or whatever, and that's, like, when people would get there, right? And then, like, at noon would be when the fucking church shit started, right? The church shit started at noon. So, I remember playing, like, soccer. I was playing on, like, jungle gyms. I was drinking a lot of, like, lemonade. I was having the time of my life, right? And again, keep in mind, my connection to religion, like, at this point, all it was just going to church that one time. And so, this is, you're gonna love this. Okay, so, and then around noon, right, it's lunchtime. Around noon or 11 or whatever, we, everyone's like, all right, we're going to go inside. It's super hot out. It's summer. It's super hot, right? So we go inside in this lovely air-conditioned, like, gymnasium kind of a thing, with, like, a bunch of fold-out chairs and, like, a stand, right? And then, so, like, I'm thinking, and then, like, there's like, a big tub of lemonade. So I go straight to I was a fat kid, by the way, for those of you that don't know. So I go straight to the lemonade. I get, like, 6 cups of lemonade in me. So I'm drinking this lemonade, and then all of a sudden, like, there's this, like, guy that walks up on this stage, and he's like, all right, everyone, sit down. And then, like, my camp counselor or whatever for my specific group was like, all right, we're going to sit over here. So we sit down, and I'm like, all right, what are we going to talk about? Because I didn't know that this was a religious thing. At this point, I just didn't know. So I sit down, and this guy goes on stage, all the lights go out, and I'm like, oh, this is awesome, right? This is going to be great. And then this guy starts fucking singing karaoke, right? And I you know what? I'm just gonna get the song. I don't care if I get copyright dinged. Who gives a shit? I'm just gonna get the song because I remember it. So I'm just gonna play an excerpt. So this song starts playing, right? Right, and I'm like, oh, we're gonna sing and dance. Now, keep in mind, I'm an awkward kid. I don't like singing and dancing. So it was like scary for me on that end, but like it's okay, you know, whatever. Maybe I'll learn how to sing, maybe I'll learn how to dance, maybe I'll learn how to be a normal kid, right? So this is starting to play, right? And I'm like, oh hell yeah, right? This is amazing. You're gonna love this, right? And then the lyrics start, and I'm like, oh no, right? It's like, it's amazing, and this song triggered me. This song triggered the fuck out of me. You're gonna love this. You're gonna love this, okay? So at this point, this is when I realized, I'm just gonna let the song play. This is when I realized this is a Jesus thing. This is when I realized it's like, oh no, it's a Jesus thing, no, right? And everyone else, like besides me, everyone's like doing this, everyone's like singing, and I'm just doing the thing like in the church where I was just like, you know, I was standing up like this. And I was like, alright, okay, whatever. It's so good. This video is amazing. And I'm like, I don't know what to do. I don't know my first panic. I don't know what to, this video is playing. So this is the part that I get triggered, where it starts saying better than Spider-Man. Now, I'm not a huge Spider-Man fan, but I'm thinking to myself, wait a second, I've seen the Spider-Man movies. I played Spider-Man on PS1. You know, I've got Spider-Man 1 and 2, Enter Electro on PS1. So I'm thinking, you know what? I don't even like Spider-Man that much, but this is definitely not better than Spider-Man. But you know what? I'll listen. But it keeps going. So, like, everyone's, like, having a good time. Like, woo! And I'm like this, you know, I'm like, uh-oh. It's like, alright, I don't know Superman. That's fine. Whatever. Superman's not my thing, but okay. Batman, whatever. I don't know Batman. I've never watched Batman, not the cartoons or anything. Just wait for it. Better than anyone. Okay, well, personally, at that point, I'm like, well, I like my mom. You know, I don't think Jesus is better than my mom, right? So I'm like, all right, I'm disputing that claim. This video, dude, I can't with this video. It gets better, though. It gets better. Just wait for it. I'm gonna get triggered as fuck. Just wait for it. So this is where I draw the line. So okay, now for those of you that don't know, I am a huge Yu-Gi-Oh fan. Like the biggest, like I was playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Like as soon as the card game came out in 2002, right? I was playing Yu-Gi-Oh! I love that shit. I got Blue Eyes White Dragon first edition packs. I was on top of that. So like, you know, in 2002, I was like fucking 6 or 7, right? So like, I'm playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Since I was 6, right? Half of my life at this point was spent collecting Yu-Gi-Oh! And then this fucking shit pops on the screen saying better than Yu-Gi-Oh! And I get triggered. And at this point, I sit down. I'm like, you know what? I can't handle this. It is not better than Yu-Gi-Oh! That is fake news, but let's keep going. It's just not real. It's just nope. Okay, I mean, I never played with Barbie, so I was like, alright, but Yu-Gi-Oh! I was triggered. I was still pissed. I don't even know what Action Man is, right? But I was triggered. I was pissed off that they thought that Yu-Gi-Oh! Is worse than Jesus? Are you kidding me? Right? So it's like, you know, they do like whatever. Hello, Max. Hello. So they were trying to brainwash me. This is like the video. It was not the same video, but it was very similar. They had pop-ups and whatever. It was very similar to this video, but it wasn't it exactly. So I get triggered. And then after the singing and dancing was like, I guess the sermon or whatever, like where the guy who was doing the karaoke, was like talking about God and the devil. I'm sorry, I don't care about Neera Tanden right now, Ghosty Boy. But so like, and then they're talking about God and the Max, no. So they're talking about God and the devil. And again, keep in mind, I'm still triggered about this Yu-Gi-Oh! Thing. Because you have to keep in mind, literally, I'm not even joking, I had Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards in my book bag that I brought because I was like, oh, maybe other people play Yu-Gi-Oh! Right, so I literally had my deck in my book bag, right, waiting just in case. Max, you fucked up my sheet. God damn it, Max. So I have my Yu-Gi-Oh deck in my book bag. I'm waiting, right? No one played Yu-Gi-Oh there. At this point, I'm like, is this an anti-Yu-Gi-Oh? Is this an anti-Yu-Gi-Oh camp? I thought this was a summer camp. I thought, like, this is an anti-Yu-Gi-Oh camp. What the fuck? Right? So, I'm feeling uncomfortable, right? And again, I was antisocial. I was, very introverted. I had no friends up until this point. Is Jesus better than Mega Man? Absolutely not. So I had no... Max, what the fuck are you doing? Like, are you this starved for attention? Holy shit. Oh my god. I'll watch it in, like, post, but whatever. So anyway, so then they do this, like, hour-long lecture or sermon or whatever the fuck it is. And then after that, Max, you cannot go down there. I refuse to let you go down there. So after that, we go into, like, again, I had, like, specific camp counselors that were, like, groups of, like, 8 kids or whatever with, like, just to make sure that there was an adult for every 8 to 10 kids, and then make sure that, kids didn't get lost and that kind of shit. So we go into, like, we break into the groups. And so my friend, again, at this point, the one that I went to the church with earlier, Max, you ruined the sheet again. My friend was not in my group, unfortunately. We asked to have us in the same group, but they said no for whatever reason. So our group goes back into another room. It was like, like a classrooms or whatever. So we go into a classroom, and my group, like, camp counselor, like, and he's like, I guess, like 18 or 19 or whatever. This is like his summer job or whatever, right? So this guy is asking us, like, so what did you learn today about God? Now, keep in mind, I didn't know jack fuck all about God. I'm still triggered because I wanted to play Yu-Gi-Oh! And this fucking stupid song was like, Jesus is better than Yu-Gi-Oh! No, he's not. Jesus is objectively, in every sense of the word, inferior to Yu-Gi-Oh! Yu-Gi-Oh! Is much, much better than Jesus. So, Max, what the fuck? So, Max, do you want me to just open the door and let you play downstairs or something? Holy shit, buddy. Do you got the zoomies? Do you need attention? Max is really fucking my steez up. So I'm in this group thing. And again, so my counselor's like, what did you learn today? Right? As a way of, like, trying to drill in the propaganda. And so they pick on me first because I was the new kid. Everyone else, this is like their second or third year of summer camp. So I was the new kid. So they pick me to go first. And I'm like, oh no. Because, like, typically if someone else were to go first, right, I could just, like, copy their answer in different words. Like, I would be like, oh, whatever, I say the same thing in different words. I was that smart at 12 years old. I was a pretty smart kid. I was reading Richard Dawkins. I was getting into that. Right, so, like, but I got picked on first, right? So that was a disaster, right? This is a bad deal. Should have never been thought of. I was picked first, so I have no opportunity to copy someone else's work. So I got picked first, and I was like, like, the devil's a bad guy, and we shouldn't like him? That's what I said. And then everyone stares at me. Like, remember when I told you about the Thank God It's Fridays thing? Right, so everyone stares at me, and they're like, that's not cool, man. You should, like, it's not a joke. Right, and I'm like, I'm feeling very awful. I'm like, I'm not joking. I don't know. I'm not, like, so instead of, like, trying to teach me, right, they were like, you shouldn't have said that. Jesus isn't a joke. And I guess they felt what I said was a joke. I don't know, but it's like, and it was, like, the most awkward experience of my life. It really was bizarre. And again, I've got many stories of this Christian summer camp that I could talk about, but that was my first day. I was triggered. I brought my Yu-Gi-Oh deck. No one wanted to play Yu-Gi-Oh. I thought that Jesus didn't like Yu-Gi-Oh. I thought that I couldn't like Yu-Gi-Oh if I was a religious person. I thought that religion was anti-Yu-Gi-Oh. I was genuinely offended because I didn't understand any of the material, and they, like, judged me for it. So it was a really bad time. But I've got many other stories from that. I'll go into that maybe later. But Jesus fucking Christ, it was a bad deal. Should have never been thought of. This is my opinion, on Christian summer camp.
And where it should have stopped is at the deal standpoint, where they thought about it.
No good. Now, I just want to say that, just to give y'all some other stories, the superintendent of the summer camp, the administrator, was later, right? Later, you're never going to believe this, right? The superintendent for this summer camp, after summer camp, was my math teacher. Yep. Right? You're thinking to yourself, no. You're thinking to yourself, no way. Yep. When I went to school in September, right? I had a math teacher for like 3 weeks and then they got sick, right? And then they hired a replacement math teacher because my other teacher got sick. And that math teacher was the superintendent for my Christian summer camp. Yep. You're never going to believe this. So I've got multiple stories. Maybe I'll go into that at some other point. But there you go. I haven't told that story in a while. That's my first experience at Christian summer camp. My first experience at a church. No good, folks. No good. Anyway, now that I've lost half of my viewers because they don't care about me, they just care about whatever. Let me see if I can dump some more bags here. I'm sorry. On a scale from 1 to 10, how good was that storytelling? Give me some positive feedback here. Come on, man. Give me some positive feedback. I demand it. Hey, Radler. My bidet is just a garden hose. Never take the first... I can't. It was pretty hilarious. Very relatable. I'll give it an 8.5. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. Keep refining your story for your live show. Oh, I will. Hello, Aurora. Are you my new friend? Enjoyable, but the music was a pain to my... It was a pain to my ears, too. I'm having flashbacks right now. But I needed you to understand exactly what I was dealing with. Like I needed you to understand the sheer depths of, like, me being a fish out of water. And I just want to let everyone know I did go to Christian summer camp for a second year after that school year. So after having that person be my math teacher, I did go for a second year. So, and maybe I'll go into that. I sent you a $5 super chat a while ago. I'm so sorry for not reading it. I'm scrolling up. I'm not trying. I know. I'm not trying to be a fucking prick, and I'm so sorry about that. Please just give me a sec. Have you ever made a video about Richard Medhurst? Yes, I did. You can just search his username you can just search his name, I guess, on my channel. I did make one video about him at some point when he posted some really batshit crazy stuff. But I you know, as far as I'm concerned, the guy is not popular enough for me to, like, really go after that hard. I would rather go after someone like Nico House or Jimmy Dore. Because I know, Richard Medhurst is just, like, a really dumb motherfucker. But I don't know if he's actively homophobic. I don't know if he's actively transphobic. But I do know that Jimmy Dore and Nico House are. And that's, like, more offensive to me. But if you give me, like, if you want to, like, send me a video that Richard does and say, like, oh, here's a dumb fucking video that this guy did, I'll cover it, maybe. I went back to anti-Yu-Gi-Oh camp. Yeah, I mean, again, it was just, like, a way of, like, you know, daycare during the summer, basically, is what it was. But I don't think I completed a full year. Because I remember I told my mom I didn't want to do it. Because, like, I was under the impression that I was not going back there, but then, like, she was like, oh, you're gonna go back there, and then, like, after a couple weeks, I was telling her I don't really want to go back there, so then we had another daycare solution found at that point, but there was a part 2. God, I could spend all day talking about Christian summer camp. That's really one of the most incredible experiences of my life. I mean, it really is just, it's insane. Church stories are so barbaric, but, like, we can all relate. Hey, I mean, thank you. But yeah, I mean, I guess let's get into the news. I wanted to talk about this today. This is relevant to the title. And again, I just wanted to talk about this because I got into a bunch of Twitter arguments, and I know there's a bunch of dumb motherfuckers out there that are, like, crying really hard about this tweet. It's going, like, viral, I guess. I mean, at least in communities that I follow. You should do one show a week where you smoke a ton of weed and just tell those stories while you lay in bed and pet Max. Maybe. Though I'm quitting weed for a little bit, so that'll have to wait. But maybe I'm down with that. The song is now stuck in my head. I'm so sorry about that. I'm so sorry about that. I needed you to understand the depths of my trauma. I really need you to understand the depths of my trauma. But anyway, so I got into a bunch of like bizarre Twitter arguments today over this image, and I want to talk about this. So this image has circulated on Twitter over the course of the last 12 hours, and I got into a bunch of fucking arguments with people on Twitter about it. And I wanted to make this a segment on today's show because I am a Bitcoin fan. I am a crypto fan. And I want to talk about this subject because there's a lot of misinformation out there. So this tweet says, Bitcoin overtakes Argentina in annual energy use and close to Norway. The reason why this, in my opinion, is a dumb tweet is because Bitcoin is a global currency. Like, if you were to, say, like, track the amount of energy that is used with air conditioning, I would say air conditioning globally is probably more than energy consumption total for smaller countries, right? That's what I would assume. If you were to, like, use all the energy for, let's say, heating, I would say that's probably going to be pretty high globally compared to other countries. If you take all the energy consumption for, let's say, cars, that's globally, not just in one country, and compare it to total energy consumption of just one country, yeah, you're going to have a problem. So this tweet is one of those things that people look at, right? And it's just kind of like a Rorschach test of like, if you hate Bitcoin, you're going to see this and go like, oh, Bitcoin is so bad. It should be illegal. Right? So like you get a bunch of people that like have their like, you know, confirmation biases set in from seeing images like this. But again, it's just stupid. This is a dumb fuck way to go against Bitcoin. If you were to say that Bitcoin's proof of work, like method of mining is bad, I agree. I agree with that. That's why I prefer other cryptos like, you know, Litecoin, for example, or like, you know, like Stellar, for example, compared to Bitcoin, right? But all the people that do that bullshit, right? Like if you can scroll down, I don't want to scroll down too much because, right, it's a bunch of shit. But like if you look at all the arguments, people conflate Bitcoin with all cryptocurrencies. And this comes from a lack of education and a lack of desire to educate yourself in this situation. So people see Bitcoin and they think all cryptocurrencies like run on Bitcoin, or they think Bitcoin is all cryptocurrencies, right? These people, again, they're just not smart. And they think that they're smart, right? And this is the problem. Like, again, if you were to take total energy usage for, let's say, central air conditioning for empty office buildings, I'm sure you'd get a relatively comparable number to Bitcoin mining. I'm sure you would, right? I'm absolutely sure you would. But yes, Bitcoin mining is a problem because Bitcoin is a very outdated technology. And the whole point of cryptocurrencies and the whole point of technology is to improve technology. And that's one of the problems with Bitcoin is it is so outdated. They have improved it a little bit, right? It's not the same tech as it was like 10 years ago. They have improved it a little bit, but at the same point, it's like, it's just not good technology. It's just really not good technology. And there are other cryptocurrencies, like again, Litecoin, which is, you know, superior technology. You got Stellar, which is another one I really like. That do not work in the same business model or energy consumption model as Bitcoin. But there's a lot of people out there, particularly left-wing people, that see Bitcoin and they hate all forms of digital currency as a result, right? I've got news for you, motherfucker. Like, the global banking, right, network all throughout the world uses more energy than Bitcoin. Do you say that we should destroy all banks? Well, maybe you do, but chances are you don't, right? So my point here is that I use Bitcoin personally, you know, if I you know, want to, you know, but like, you know, the first thing that comes to mind, I use Bitcoin for that sometimes. But also, one of the most useful methods of transferring money across the globe from country to country is with cryptocurrency. Like, this is one of the main usages right? People love to say like cryptocurrency is just like a casino marketplace for billionaires. And that is true. A lot of the markets for cryptos are casino markets that are unregulated for billionaires. That is factually true. But that is indistinguishable from the technology behind the currency, right? Like, so for example, GameStop as a stock. GameStop has no changes whatsoever to their like business model, even because like even when their stock price went up like thousands of percentage points, their business model didn't change, right? So the market of the GameStop stock was completely separate, right? Completely separate from the market or from the actual stores and like from the actual business owners. And that's a legit, you can attack the stock market, you can attack the crypto market, and that's great. But that doesn't mean that you have to say all of a sudden all cryptocurrencies are evil, right? Because it's just stupid. Again, if you want to transfer money from, let's say, America to, let's say, Luxembourg, right? One of the easiest ways to do so and the fastest ways to do so is to use cryptocurrency. I have bought and traded and received money from people all over the world in, South America, in Europe, in the Middle East. I've gotten money from people in China via cryptocurrencies instantaneously. And that's what I want to say. Like, for example, Stellar, right? They have instantaneous transactions. So I've had literally, like, again, people in Europe give me money if, they want to donate to my work or whatever, give me money via the crypto network. And instead of having to wait weeks for bank transfers or like days for verification or confirmations, right? I got it instantly, right? And this is what people do not understand. You can criticize a market and you can criticize market manipulation. You can criticize casino style, speculation, without criticizing the technology behind that. Like, you can attack the market manipulation of, let's say the GameStop stock prices when they only allowed selling on Robinhood, for example, without attacking GameStop. It would be like if everyone on CNBC was like, GameStop is a terrible company because their stock market, prices were going crazy. It's dumb. It's childish. And it makes you look like a fucking idiot. I'm sorry, right? There's a lot of people out there that go like, oh, libertarians love Bitcoin. If you love Bitcoin, you must be a libertarian. You know what else libertarians love? Marijuana, right? Does that mean marijuana is terrible all of a sudden? Most of the people that I meet that smoke weed, right? Like, especially before the last year, were libertarians. Were people that had dumb fuck political beliefs. Does that mean all of a sudden I hate weed? Like, some of the first people that I ever smoked weed with were libertarians. They were dumb as shit. Does that mean all of a sudden that weed is bad? No. Again, the idea that because the most vocal, minority or even majority of people, use something and are annoying does not have any, you know what? A majority of people that drive cars are dumb motherfuckers. Does that mean cars should never be used? No. The majority of people that work, right, let's say, let me think, let's say the majority of people, I don't want to pick on workers. The majority of, school teachers, tell fake versions of history. Does that mean we shouldn't have schools? No! Right? Again, the idea that you would attack technology or software because of the people that use it, I'm sorry, it's dumb. It's lazy and it's childish. And I just wanted to talk about this on my stream because I got into a bunch of arguments on Twitter this morning. I got 4 people unfollowing me and blocking me, right? Because it's like, how dare you like Bitcoin? I know that you want to trade and give money to people outside of the country easily, but did you know libertarians want to do the same thing? You're an evil person. Did you know that Elon Musk does market manipulation for Dogecoin? That means you're not allowed to buy things with Dogecoin anymore because Elon Musk likes it. It's like, what? You know what else Elon Musk likes? Food. Does that mean I shouldn't eat anymore? Again, the idea that this is something that people, this is an argument that people have. It's dumb shit, dude. It's dumb shit. And there's a reason why libertarians are the most vocal majority of Bitcoin users, right? Because everyone else gets bullied, right? I have so many people, you're a fake leftist. If you use Bitcoin, you're a fake leftist. Dude, motherfucker, right? The whole point of modern monetary theory, which I subscribe to, is that money is fake. Money is just what people agree on has value. Okay? Money is fake. If you think money is fake when it's the US currency, but all of a sudden, when there's thousands of crypto tokens, all of a sudden money being fake and that... Oh no! Oh no, someone made Dogecoin, and that proves that money is just a meme. How dare they? By the way, I believe in modern monetary theory. Like, what? What? And again, if you want to say the energy consumption of Bitcoin is a bad thing, yes, let's address it. That doesn't mean you should make all cryptocurrency illegal. What? Like, again, it's just dumb shit. It's what dumb motherfuckers would say. And if you say that, I'm not trying to be rude to you. I know I'm a little, I'm hooting and hollering, that kind of stuff. So please take that in mind. I'm a little hyperbolic. But if you want to say that if you use Bitcoin, you're not a real leftist, I'm sorry. Go fuck yourself. You're an idiot. Please educate yourself. If you want to say that the energy consumption of Bitcoin is problematic, I agree. But banning all cryptocurrencies, which is what some people in my mentions were advocating for, is not the way to go about it. That doesn't do anything. First of all, I don't think you can ban cryptocurrencies. Like, you can try to regulate them out of existence in, like, countries like America, but that's not really going to do anything globally. That's not going to stop the energy consumption, and that might even have, like, a Streisand effect, like, at the end of the day. So it's a stupid idea to want to ban cryptocurrencies. I'm turning my heat off, right? But, like, again, I just, like... This whole debate, because Bitcoin is reaching new all-time highs, Dogecoin is in the news almost every day, right? So a lot of people are pissed off. And again, this is just such a stupid, image. Like, again, if you want to talk about global, like, energy usage for particular things, what's the global energy usage for fossil fuels? What's the global energy usage for, I don't know, cars, planes? What's the global energy usage for factory farming? So wait, you're going to tell me you hate Bitcoin, yet you go to McDonald's and get cheap meat? What? What? Factory farming has a significantly worse carbon footprint on this planet than Bitcoin could ever think of. So if you're going to go out there and say you want to make Bitcoin illegal, yet you go to McDonald's almost every day, I'm sorry, you're a dumb motherfucker. If you want to say you want to make Bitcoin illegal, but you don't want to make cars illegal, I'm sorry, you're a dumb motherfucker. If you want to say that the energy consumption is problematic and we need to find ways to work on it, I agree. So maybe instead of, promoting Bitcoin, we should promote other currencies like Litecoin or Stellar, right? That's my opinion. So I just wanted to get that out there. And again, I'm not a professional. I don't want to weigh in on the markets in any capacity. I'm here. This video is just strictly about the technology and the software behind cryptocurrencies. It's good technology. It's good software. It's very useful. And if you go about there and say, it should be illegal. It should be illegal. Like, I'm sorry, you're a fucking dipshit. Do you think playing video games on max graphics should be illegal? It's unnecessary. You don't need to play video games with fucking, like, fucking 4K, 8K, 15K, ultra wide screen. You don't need to play video games at fucking 69K, fucking 13,000 FPS. It's unnecessary. Why are you playing video games at max graphics? Think about the electricity you're using. It's a dumb fuck argument for dumb fucks, and I'm here to try to dispel any propaganda that y'all might have in your brains from this shit. Again, yeah, there's a lot of dumb motherfuckers involved with Bitcoin. There's a lot of dumb motherfuckers that eat food. There's a lot of dumb motherfuckers that drive cars. Does that mean that we should just ban these things tomorrow? No, it's dumb. Right? So that's all I have to say. And I'm sorry, I got a little triggered this morning. What's up, y'all? Yeah, and that's another thing, right? Like, when you go on Twitter and say, Bitcoin, I'm sorry, whenever I do this, I'm trying to get my sheet to work again. If you want to say Bitcoin is just for billionaires, that's just, like, you're not, like, are you going on Elon Musk's page and saying, hey, Elon, you're a billionaire, stop buying Bitcoin? Well, if you are, he's not going to see your tweet, right? So when you go on Twitter or whatever and say, if you buy Bitcoin, you're a fake leftist, all you're doing is making so that billionaires get more money. They get a bigger share of the pie, right? So, like, when Elon Musk tweets about Dogecoin, guess what? This poor dumb bitch in her bedroom, right, with fucking dog fucking toy blood everywhere, right? Look, there's stuffing all over the floor, right? I gotta clean that later, right? What you're doing is making it so I get less money. Elon Musk is going to be rich no matter what, motherfucker. They're going to be rich no matter what. Right? So the idea that poor people aren't allowed to rake in some money on the backs of these rich motherfuckers having their little hedge fund battles, I'm sorry, it's ridiculous, it's dumb, it's silly, and you need to get yourself in check. My understanding is Bitcoin carbon footprint asleep comes from dirty energy sources. Some of it does, some of it doesn't. Like, that's the thing. If we want to talk about the energy consumption, we can do so without advocating to make Bitcoin illegal. And I could show example tweets, but I don't want to call anyone out in particular. Like, a lot of people, like, that I saw that I respect, right? Like, this is, like, I've seen so many people that I respect that say Bitcoin and all crypto should be illegal. It's like, what the fuck are you doing? You know what I mean? Like, we can have conversations about fixing our society, making technology better, making things more energy efficient. That's fine with me. But again, when you start getting into the, we gotta make crypto illegal game, I'm sorry, but fuck you. Like, fuck you. You are dumb on that subject. But one of the problems as well is these people are like, they've got like these really hard opinions on stuff they don't understand. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, talking, like when I was canvassing for Bernie Sanders, right? And I would like say, hey, like, you know, like Bernie Sanders, Medicare for all. And they'd go like, I hate socialism. You're never going to change my mind. Bernie Sanders is a communist Jew. And it's like, okay. That's the same thing that a lot of leftists have when it comes to Bitcoin. Bitcoin is just for libertarians and billionaires. It's evil. I will never support. It's like, what? How dumb are you? You know, it's just, that's my problem with it. Captain Spock, I know enough about it. Like, I'm sorry. Like, if you want to talk about energy consumption, I'm right there with you. I'm right there with you with energy consumption. That's a huge problem. But making cryptocurrencies illegal is dumb. I have been involved and have utilized cryptocurrencies for 4 years, so I know what I'm talking about. How about watching him drag Tandon? I'm just going to wait for the clips about that. Like, send me some clips. If there's clips that are already going on Twitter, you know, feel free to let me know. But, like, I'm going to do enough of the Senate hearings later with the impeachment stuff, but... My argument is based on a lack of info. What info am I lacking? I don't understand. What does David Koch running for vice president in 1980 have to do with Bitcoin? I don't understand. I'm trying to scroll up. I have a degree in alternative energy. You need to address the... I did address the energy. I did. I said that we need to use more efficient stuff, like Stellar. We need to use, like, things that, like, proof of stake models, for example, that don't require excessive GPU usage. I already said that. Oh, there's already clips. Okay. All right. I thought y'all were wanting me to watch it live. Okay. Okay. All right. I'll watch this then. All right. We got this.
$4 trillion worth. My concern, I think this is shared by now.
Senate confirmation. Watch live. Wait. No, this is not a clip. This is not a clip. I've been lied to. I have been lied to, everybody. That's just a live stream. I've been lied to. Unfortunate. But yeah, again, we should always be making things be more energy efficient. That's why I don't like Bitcoin that much. I like coins like Stellar or Litecoin. That's the whole reason I said that. They are more technologically efficient. They are more energy efficient. And they work better. Like, I'm just plain and simple. How are you able to ninja tweet while streaming? I can do a lot of things. Noam Chomsky is a libertarian socialist, which is not to be confused with a right-wing libertarian. Right-wing libertarians are dumb as fucking dumpster cum. Libertarian socialist is just... I personally don't like the term. I prefer just anarchist, you know, like... I don't know, what is the difference between libertarian, socialist, and anarchist? As far as I'm concerned, it's just a bunch of hoopla garbage. Like, just be an anarchist, you know? The subject, it is complex. That's what I'm saying, is I'm not trying to explain everything. I'm saying that there's a lot more to it than, oh, we should make cryptocurrencies illegal. That's what I'm just trying to say. Like, educate yourself. Not you specifically, Captain Spock, but people in general. I've been lied to, everybody. I've been lied to. Let me look at Dogecoin. By the way, as far as dumping my bags earlier, I accumulated like way too much Dogecoin when it was below 7 cents. So I like maybe like fucking quadrupled my stack. So I'm just taking some short-term profits. I'm not dumping my bags. I was just, you know, doing the meme. Again, not financial advice, blah, 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 blah. Hoopla. My next sell orders are going to be above 8 cents again. I'm hodling. Anarchism is difficult for old people. I don't think it is. I mean, like, anarchists were, like, cool as hell in the 1920s and 30s. Like, come on. Like, a lot of people, like, who are born now, like, their dads were anarchists. You know, it's like, that's, like, come on. Nuclear has a waste product that needs to be guarded for 10,000 years. I'm not a huge fan of nuclear for that reason. Like, if it's, like, a short-term win and then we deal with it later, I can get behind that in the very short term, maybe. Especially if we've already got a lot of nuclear plants because of our fucking obsession with nuclear power and weapons and shit. Right, so like I'm okay with maybe some short term, but we really need to get to like solar, wind, hydro, etc. Anarchism skipped a generation. It might have been. That's unfortunate to hear though. Anyway, I had a bunch of other shit I wanted to talk about, but I got really sidetracked with that fucking story, like the fucking story time about my Christian summer camp. But yeah, I just want to say as another thing, if someone ever disagrees with me, I'm okay to have that conversation. Right? Like, again, I've had people block me, like, because I like Bitcoin. It's like, first of all, you followed me for months, if not years, and you just now realized I like cryptocurrencies. Second of all, you followed me for months, if not years, and you're going to block me because I like crypto, like one small disagreement on like software. Like, that's like blocking me because I play like old video games. It's like, instead of new video games, it's like, what? You know, I don't understand. I definitely agree with that, Captain Spock. Absolutely. I absolutely agree with nuclear. That's what I'm saying, Bob. That's what I'm saying. If someone wants to be dumb when it comes to crypto, I'll still be their friend. I don't give a shit. I'm down to have that conversation. I disagree with all my friends on a lot of shit. But, yeah. But, I hope everyone, again, is having a good day. I really do want to say that, like, you know, vibe check and all that stuff. Like, everyone's good. Everyone's happy. Like, what's up, y'all? Talk to me. I don't care about trading or gaming, but I see that's what it is, Bob Carm. That's what we're talking about. It's all good, Captain Spock. It's all good. I just misunderstood you at first. It's fine. And, you know, we're good. I love you. I hope you love me. We're good, buddy. Anyway, I wanted to get into this news story. This is actually something like deadly serious, and emphasis on deadly. Did I comment on... I haven't read into it yet. I'm sorry. I have not read into it yet. Can you send me some shit on, like, Twitter or Discord or whatever, or email? Send me, like, any articles you want me to read, and I'll try to get to them. I'm so sorry. There's just a lot of stuff that I just, you know... unless I make the show 3 hours a day, I'm just not going to get to, and I'm so sorry. Can you hear the howling of Cheeto in the background? Man, there's so many dumb motherfuckers. Oof. You know, Elon Musk has a great power in his hands in addition to money. When he mentioned Witcher 3 is a good game in his Twitter, the stock price of CD Projekt... I mean... This is a thing, like, you can't fall for that. Like, Elon Musk is garbage. Like, yes, is it maybe a good thing to, like, ride the wave a little bit, and if he tweets about a currency or a stock and then maybe try to make some money off of it? Again, I'm not a professional. I'm not offering any financial advice here. I'm not a professional. I'm an individual. If you think that that's a good idea to make a short-term gain, go for it. Go for it. You know what I mean? And that can be good, and that can be some form of minor wealth redistribution. But you have to understand that most of the people that get money off of those pumps are other millionaires, other, like, wealthy people, right? So it's like, you have to understand that that's a, you know, Elon Musk is not your friend, but just because he's not your friend doesn't mean you can't make some money off of his bullshit. You know what I mean? Like, I made like $80 in the last like 2 hours because of Elon Musk's tweet. So, you know, that's going to feed Max for 2 months. You know what I mean? Like, so you know what I mean? God, I've got so many fucking dogs. Holy shit. Whenever there's a pump, I always feel like I should have bought more. And whenever there's a dip, I always feel like I should, you know, dip my toes in. I gotta go harder next time. Anyway, I want to get into this story before we cut off here. Again, the Senate will go live with the impeachment trial at about noon. I will go live with it at about 1, maybe 1:30. Again, I will watch it like 1.1x speed. I will skip the Pledge of Allegiance. I'll skip the prayers. I'll skip all that, you know, the parliamentary stuff, like I yield my time, or, you know, skip all that shit, and then I'll catch up to the live probably at around 2:30 to 3. And it's going to be a long stream, so brace for impact. Richard has made videos attacking Bernie, AOC, and the squad, calling frauds and sellers, especially after forced vote. He even attacked AOC for... Yeah, Andrew, hold up. Let me send you that video I was referencing earlier. The one video I made about Richard Medhurst was when he compared Jamal Bowman to Kevin McCarthy. He said that they're basically the same. Which is just stupid. Like, the guy is just fucking dumb. But again, I think there's a difference when it comes to me focusing my ire, right? There's a difference between someone who's just saying stupid shit and someone who says stupid shit but is actively transphobic or actively homophobic or is actively racist as well. So that's why I choose to go after people like Nico or Jimmy or Convo Couch or whatever, because I know that they're actively transphobic. I know that they actively manipulate history to, make racists more palatable. I know that they actively platform racists, right? They actively work with neo-Nazis. To my understanding, Richard Medhurst is just a clout-chasing grifter, who's maybe a CIA operative, or maybe not like a CIA, but just some sort of operative, right? The guy is just not bright. And, it is important to focus on when people say dumb shit. But again, if I've got limited time in the day, here's the video that I'm mentioning, where he compared Jamal Bowman and Kevin McCarthy. It's like, what the fuck? It's just bizarre shit. Snoop Dogg pays his blunt roller $50,000 a year. That's actually pretty funny. All right, so I'm going to get into the story. This is something that happened yesterday during the impeachment trial, so I didn't get to it, but I did mention it on stream. One dead following Buffalo Alina Clinic shooting. And I want to say that I don't know the details yet, but I'm going to play this video here. I'm going to watch this with you, and we'll see what happened. But this is a really, really bad situation, and I just, want to get the news out there.
Here's what we know right now about the developing story in Buffalo, where 5 people were shot today at a health clinic. One of the victims passed away at the hospital. 3 others are in critical condition, and a 4th has already been released.
Police say this man is the shooter, 67-year-old Gregory Ulrich. They say he opened fire inside the Alina Health Clinic in Buffalo. Investigators are also looking into a bomb threat at a Super 8 that is not far from the clinic.
We have live team coverage tonight, including new information about the suspect from his former roommate. But we're going to begin with Devon Roming, who's going to piece together what happened today. Devon?
Hey, Randy. Yeah, investigators are still here at the Alina Clinic behind me, processing the scene for any evidence. And we're told from the time that the 911 call went out to the time that
Who wants to guess who this guy voted for?
This all happened within a 12-minute time frame. Buffalo police are calling it a targeted but isolated tragedy after 5 people were shot, one of them fatally, in this Alina Health Clinic in Buffalo shortly before 11 Tuesday morning.
Upon our arrival, we also located several victims in this. It's a horrible looking scene.
Those victims were all taken to hospitals in the Twin Cities, some of them airlifted. And as that was all happening, many neighboring businesses and schools were forced into lockdown.
A lot of us were freaking out. We just thought it was lockdown drill.
The Minneapolis bomb squad was also on scene after reports that homemade explosives were said to have gone off inside the clinic.
We also found a suspicious package in the corner of the lobby.
The situation also prompted a search in a room at the nearby Super 8, where witnesses tell police the suspect, 67-year-old Gregory Ulrich, had been staying.
We did send a team from my office over there to evacuate the Super 8 motel. We did find additional suspicious devices.
So much snow, it's
leading
beautiful.
Investigators to then execute a search warrant at this mobile home where a neighbor told us Ulrich had lived but moved out just a week ago.
We certainly don't want to leave any stone unturned, and we want to make sure that we're being prudent throughout this entire investigation.
Now, as the investigation into why this happened ramps up, state leaders are offering well wishes to the victims and their families and thanking law enforcement for acting fast.
From everything I'm hearing in this, in an incredibly fast manner that I think probably when the data comes out saved lives by their actions, and we're grateful for that.
Now, investigators say it could be days before their investigation here at the Alina Clinic wraps up. And as for Ulrich, well, he's expected to appear in a Wright County courtroom first thing Thursday morning.
And I heard this man say, "Get down on the ground." And I turned and I saw the back of this man and he had a gun. I didn't know what to do.
That is just one scary and heart-wrenching account from a woman who was inside the clinic during the shooting today. Danny Spiewak is live in Buffalo tonight, and he's been speaking to witnesses all day. Danny, I can't even imagine the stories these people have to tell tonight.
Well, Randy, unfortunately, there are a lot of them, as this shooting happened, of course, during regular business hours in a busy commercial district just near Highway 55 here in Buffalo. And of course, as people are trying to process exactly what happened here today, just before noon, there were 3 different prayer services, at least 3, with more scheduled. And we're also told, of course, as people are looking, they are trying to really just process what happened.
Lord, I need you.
At St. John's Lutheran Church, Pastor Ryan Clark comforted a community searching for answers.
Who are afraid, traumatized, and needing peace.
In Buffalo, these images from the Allina Health Clinic will be hard to shake.
There's one driving down there now.
From his backyard overlooking the clinic, John Klatt heard the first gunshots.
That's what it sounded like, an explosion.
And he saw staff and patients scatter.
As I pull into the clinic, 2 nurses come outside, and I figured something was wrong because they were running. And they come up to the vehicle and they said there's been a shooting, and I didn't know if anyone had called the police, so they got in and I ended up calling 911.
Tiffany Polite missed the commotion by minutes.
I was just ready to drop my mom off at the front door and I was going to go park. And then those 2 front windows were shot as I was in the parking lot, so she could have easily been in the way. Wrong time, wrong place.
Polite drove the nurses to safety, shots firing as they left the scene.
It was just like, I more so heard the glass breaking.
Only later would they learn the full extent of what had happened.
There is none like you.
Life had been lost in the small town of Buffalo.
We'll pray for those that are afraid or traumatized or saw some terrible things here today.
We do not yet know the identities of the victims involved in this shooting, but we'll share that information as soon as we get it. Back to you.
We heard the horrifying events play out through dispatch audio. At 10:54 this morning, the first multiple shots fired call came in.
Send as many ambulances as you can right now.
Buffalo Police and Wright County Sheriff's deputies were sent to Allina Health Clinic, where they found multiple victims.
At least 15 shots were fired. No further information at this time. Just somebody came and started shooting.
Send the first ambulance you can get into the parking lot. Be the back northwest corner. I got 4 or 5 with gunshots back here.
So I'm coming out with 2 survivors, not injured.
The Allina has been notified. They are looking into air care. Looking at least 5 injured critically.
They also found the suspect at the scene and took him into custody.
The male said that the gun and a briefcase is in an office by the front desk. He still should be sprawled out on his stomach.
Suspect is in custody in a squad.
Well, our Care 11 Investigates team found Gregory Ulrich has a history of harassment and threats of violence against a doctor at the Allina Clinic. And they also found documented warnings showing this was not a man who should be allowed to own firearms.
He had his issues with the hospital and the doctors there.
Raymond Zanstra is a former roommate of mass shooting suspect Gregory Ulrich. He says anyone who knew Ulrich knew he hated the health clinic in Buffalo because they would no longer prescribe him the pain medication he wanted.
There was a particular doctor that he did not like.
Court records back that up. They show Ulrich pled guilty in 2019 to violation of a harassment restraining order that mandated he have no contact with Andrew Bergdorf, a doctor at the clinic. He was not allowed to enter the Allina Clinic in Buffalo Hospital unless transported by medical personnel for emergency treatment. But in April of last year, the case was dismissed because Ulrich was found mentally incompetent to proceed.
He had all kinds of mental health issues.
By law, those documented mental health issues should have prevented Ulrich from legally possessing a firearm. But his former roommate claims law enforcement signed off on a permit.
Why would you do that? Why would you? I don't understand.
We found a document in Ulrich's court file where he'd applied for a permit and a court services agent warned that he should not be allowed to use or possess any dangerous weapon. Zanstra claims Ulrich bought a gun.
He bought a Smith & Wesson. It was brand new in a box.
So AJ,
But yeah, so there was a lot of speculation over whether or not this was based on vaccines. And it appears that it's not necessarily based on that. But it's also, again, very horrifying that this guy would go into such a scenario and just, like, you know, try to blow the place up or kill people. Again, it doesn't make any sense to just shoot random people at a health clinic. If you want to target someone, why would you go in there and just try to kill random folks? It's just ridiculous. It's dumb. And, it's unfortunate that people are dying because of this ridiculous garbage. And, again, this is just this is a terror attack, like in all senses of the word. And it's bizarre that it's not being described as such. It's not being described as a terror attack. This is someone going into a health clinic to enact terror on individuals for no reason. And again, there's another thing that's important to understand is, this guy was addicted to a substance and he was just cut off cold turkey. What is that about? We can't be in a society where we get people addicted to certain things and then just arbitrarily draw a line and say you can't take them anymore. When you give people an addiction, that changes the way that their, psychological behavior, it changes the way their brain works. And I'm not trying to, give excuses to this guy, but this is just something that we need to talk about. Like, you can't have a whole society addicted to certain things and then pull the rug out from under them and expect everything to be hunky-dory. That's not how it works. And these people need to be in rehabilitation programs. They need to get the help that they need, both mentally and physically. And this is why we do need a Medicare for all system in this country. Because if more people were to get, have the ability to get the help that they need without worrying about payment, without worrying about all that kind of stuff, we would have a more peaceful society, right? And this is like a huge problem when it comes to, old white people thinking it's my way or the highway, frankly. If an old white person has someone disagree with them, they are going, they're old, their lives, in their estimation are probably nearing the end anyway. They're white, they're unstable, they think that the world revolves around them and they resent everyone else. So that's a recipe for disaster in this situation. You know what I mean? So it's just, it's a huge problem. And I just, fuck. I don't know. It's no good. Again, I'm gonna stop the stream in just a bit here. The Senate impeachment trial is going to start in about 12 minutes. I'm going to be streaming it starting about an hour late. That way I can skip through the fluff. So if you want to watch it live, feel free to go watch it live. If you want to go watch something else and then watch, my Senate impeachment trial live, and then, skip through the fluff with me, but you won't be live the whole time, but we will catch up to the live. Yesterday, it took me probably about an hour and a half to catch up to the live, maybe 2 hours. And then we caught up and then we were, in the same environment as everyone else. So if you want to, skip all the beginning fluff and do all that stuff, join me at 1, maybe 1:30. And I'll see you very soon. Does anyone have any questions, concerns, anything you want to talk about? Again, just the conversation on energy, between Spock and Yo-Yo and other people. It doesn't matter who's right. It doesn't matter who's wrong. The only thing that matters is watching my impeachment stream at 1:30-ish, 1 to 1:30. I haven't decided. It depends on how much I have to pee, what I have to do. I got to do a bunch of stuff. I'll come in a little bit and then 4X it. There you go. But yeah, no, again, I just want to say that I want this environment to be a clip and cover. I will try to. Tabby, I will try to. JL, thank you for the $10. And again, I'm sorry if I'm bad with this. I'm super sorry about that. But again, if you want to give me, money on Patreon, Cash App, PayPal, I will send the links in here. I get more of a cut than compared to Super Chats, so I do get more of the money. YouTube corporations get less of the money, and that's really what we should be all about. But again, I just want people to be able to discuss ideas in this chat room. I don't mean to pull the Dave Rubin thing out there, but I want people to be able to be comfortable to discuss ideas and to educate each other. I don't want people to get mad at each other. I don't want people to hate each other because they had a disagreement. That's not my thing. If you have we disagree on a lot of things. I'm sure y'all don't think Mega Man X6 is the best Mega Man game of all time. I'm sure y'all don't appreciate that, my sense of fashion sometimes. I'm sure y'all don't appreciate my verbiage sometimes, but we can still be friends, and I think that that's something very important to understand. So I just, want to make sure everyone's happy. Tensions have to be low in this chat room, I think. Unless like a Nazi comes in and tries to, then fuck them. But how can liberals defend nuclear? I think it's just decades of misinformation, Captain Spock. I agree with you. I think nuclear is not the best idea. I think maybe it could have short-term benefits, and I'm talking about maybe 6 months to a year. But just investing money into nuclear, we don't need to put any more money into nuclear. If anything, we need to take money out of nuclear and put it into other renewable forms of electricity. And your point, Captain Spock, about Reagan and Carter having renewable energy be a forefront and then Reagan just destroying it all, that's an extremely important thing to understand. That set us back, those memes that you see, society if Christianity didn't exist, and it's flying cars and shit. Society if Reagan never got elected would be flying cars and shit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I mean, Spock, if you want to come on stream and do a segment about your, understanding of renewables and nuclear, I'm fine with that. That sounds fun. I'm totally cool with that. Because it's not a subject I know that much about either. So I would be down for a little bit of a lecture if you're willing to do so. Not right now, obviously, but at some point. It takes 20 years to build. Yeah, exactly. So, do we want to use the nuclear stuff that we have now and then phase them out? Sure. But building new nuclear plants, it's just ridiculous. You know what I mean? I'm still holding on to nuclear. I don't have a good defense for nuclear, but I got a good feeling that if we clean up the edges in fusion, it will be really good. Sure, I mean, if you got a feeling, you got a hunch. You know what I mean? You got a hunch. I'm hunched over with a hunch. 40 years ago, libs like me were marching on nuclear power plants. Learn your liberal history? Well, there you go. You heard it from Spock, the resident lib. But again, I really do appreciate y'all for showing up, and it means a lot to me that we're able to have these conversations, that we're able to talk to each other, that we're able to, even if we disagree, the fact that you're willing to listen to me on stuff, and I appreciate that tremendously. And I just want to reiterate that. So again, enjoy the outro. I'll see you all very shortly in an hour or an hour and a half, depending on what I need to do. Goodbye.
$7 million for reef fish management, $25 million to combat Asian carp, $2.5 million to count the number of amberjack fish in the Gulf of Mexico.
Oh, seriously, hot sauce. I've been eating a lot of hot sauce, a lot of raw peppers and hot sauce.
And by the way, I don't think that's some grand conspiracy. I think this is sort of what power is. I mean this at a sort of high level.
And he's like this, and we were, I need water, help me, I need water, help. And this is on live television, and he's like this, and we were, I need water, help me, I need water, help.
Did you use the word smart? So you said you went to Delaware State, but you forgot the name of your college. You didn't go to Delaware State. You graduated either the lowest or almost the lowest in your class. Don't ever use the word smart with me. Don't ever use that word. Oh, give me a break. Because you know what? There's nothing smart about you, Joe. Well, you have to understand, the first time I ever heard of Black Lives Matter, they were chanting, pigs in a blanket, talking about police. Pigs, talking about our police. Pigs in a blanket, fry them like bacon.
Early in the morning, they went to the table with the black robe, the black shield, and they pulled out the votes. Those votes were put there a number of hours before.
He was not a loser. He was a patriot. And the people left behind there were heroes. And I resent like hell. I'm talking about my son, Beau Biden. You're talking about
I don't know, Beau. I know Hunter. Hunter got thrown out of the military. He was thrown out, dishonorably discharged.
That's not true. It wasn't dishonorably.
Cocaine use. And he didn't have a job until you became vice president.
The worst candidate in the history of presidential politics puts pressure on me. Could you imagine if I lose my whole life? What am I going to do? I'm going to say I lost to the worst candidate in the history.
Let me just tell you, I get along with everybody, which is my obligation to my company, to myself, etc. Obviously, the war in Iraq was a big, fat mistake, all right?
Only the really, I hate to say this, but those with the lowest IQ.
My opinion is never too late. So, little double sound act. So that's the story, fellas. My opinion.
Look, talk about education. I propose that what we take is those very poor schools, the Title I schools, triple the amount of money we spend from $15 to $45 billion a year. Give every single teacher a raise, the equal raise of getting out. The teachers are kind. I'm married to a teacher. My deceased wife is a teacher. I'm married to a teacher. My deceased wife is a teacher. Get social workers into homes.
Somebody really messed up.
Deal with how to raise the children. It's not they don't want to help. They don't want. They don't know quite what to do. Play the radio. Make sure the television. Make sure you have the record player on at night. The phone. Make sure the kids hear words.
But you have to go home now. We have to have peace. We have to have law and order. We have to respect our great people in law and order. We don't want anybody hurt. It's a very tough period of time. There's never been a time like this where such a thing happened.
They're not accountable to anyone. I get 10 to 12 million views a month, and they won't come out and address my progressive audience. They won't come out and address Bree's audience, or Katie's audience, or Justice Jackson, or you. They are not accountable to us. They're accountable to whoever the fuck themselves. Let's not kid ourselves. As Chris Hedges taught us a long time ago, the people attracted.
Everybody digging my chili when I'm laying down? That is not true.
Retweet. That was an opinion of somebody, and that was a retweet. I'll put it out there. People can decide for themselves. I don't take a position. Retweet. That was an opinion of somebody,